Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're tackling something that pretty much every business owner and bookkeeper down in Australia has to deal with. But let's be honest, kind of dreads. Yep, superannuation. We're going to demystify the Xero auto super process together. By the end of this, the goal is to build a brand new, totally foolproof payroll rhythm, one that ensures your team gets paid, your books stay squeaky clean, and you literally never have to stress out over a pending batch ever again.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a really clear chronological workflow today. We'll start with the big Payday super change, then cover the essential auto super setup and how to actually process those payments. After that, we'll hit approving and verifying, map out the actual processing timeline, and finally, wrap it all up by reconciling the bank feed.
All right, part 1, the Payday super change. We really need to talk about this impending July 1 legislation.
So the whole landscape of payroll is shifting right now. For years, the default habit was kind of fragmented, right? You'd pay wages now, but batch up the super and sort it all out right before that quarterly deadline. Well, guess what? That old habit is officially dead. The new requirement is paying wages and super in one sitting. Getting super comfortable with paying super straight after you finalize those wages is absolutely crucial. It's exactly the new muscle memory we need to build starting right now.
Which brings us to part 2, essential auto super setup. This is all about laying the groundwork. Now, auto super is a massive game changer, but it really only works if the foundation is solid. That means registering your organization once and flawlessly updating your employee records. Every single employee must have their tax file number or a valid exemption, a mobile number, an email address, and they're gender locked. Missing literally just one of these details, like say a forgotten mobile number, is the absolute most common reason a super batch simply refuses to submit. So, a quick audit of these specific fields today, that's going to save you a massive headache tomorrow.
Moving right along to part 3, processing super payments directly from the pay run.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Assuming your setup is perfectly in place, here's the amazingly simple workflow inside Xero. Step 1, you just pay your employees to complete the normal pay run. Step 2, right there in that same pay run, click Make Payment and choose Pay Superannuation. Step 3, select your super accruals, and Step 4, hit Submit for approval. That's it, the whole shebang. A super simple 4-step path that handles wages and super completely together.
Now, just a quick aside here. If you ever do need to pay super separately, outside of that main pay run, there actually is a secondary path. You just head into the payroll menu, select Superannuation, add a payment, pick your accruals, and submit. It's the exact same logic, just accessed from a different menu for those one-off exception scenarios.
All right, part 4, approving and verifying. Let's talk about the handoff process. This is where we hand things over because often the person prepping the batch isn't the nominated authorizer who actually holds the power to release the funds. For that authorizer, 24 is the magic number. When a batch is submitted, they get an SMS code that stays valid for exactly 24 hours. No exceptions. If they wait too long, that code expires, and you've got to generate a new one, which kind of just delays everything.
So what does the authorizer actually need to do? Well, first, review the list of payments just to sanity check the amounts. Second, enter that incredibly time-sensitive SMS code. Third, verify the bank account if prompted. And finally, hit Verify and Pay. And keep in mind, until these specific steps are done, that batch just sits completely idle in Xero with a pending approval status. Nothing moves until the authorizer acts.
Which naturally leads us to part 5, the processing timeline. Where exactly is the money?
I know there's always a ton of anxiety waiting for funds to clear, and this brilliantly illustrates the exact behind-the-scenes journey of your money. Day 0 is when the authorizer approves the batch, and this is crucial. It has to be before the 4 p.m. AST banking cutoff. Days 1 to 3, funds just sit tight awaiting banking clearance. On day 4, the payment is sent to the super funds, and your Xero status updates to paid. Then, over days 5 to 7, the super funds do the administrative heavy lifting of allocating those contributions to individual members.
Now, I need to point out a subtle but absolutely vital distinction about that paid status on day 4. When Xero says paid, it literally just means the super fund received the money. It does not mean it's magically sitting in your employee's personal account yet. That final allocation, that's entirely at the fund's discretion. So, if an employee logs into their portal on day 4 and doesn't see the cash, don't panic. The system is still working its magic.
However, you definitely want to keep the number 7 in the back of your mind. 7 business days is the maximum expected wait time from authorization to allocation. If a batch is stuck for longer than that, that's exactly when you need to raise a support case with Xero.
And finally, part 6, reconciling the bank feed. The job isn't done until the books balance. So even after the money lands, you haven't really finished your rhythm until your accounts balance out. Now, when you check your bank statement to reconcile this, do not be thrown off. The word Xero will absolutely not appear on that line item. No way. You need to look for debits labeled either Pay Clear Services or Super Choice. Knowing this little detail for sure is going to save you a mini heart attack when you're staring at your bank feed wondering where a massive payroll debit just came from.
Actually, reconciling it is incredibly straightforward. Just click Reconcile Items in your bank account, find the transaction, and open the Create tab right next to it. In the Who field, just pop in the name of the superfund or processor, then, and this is the most important part, select your organization's superannuation payable account in the What field.
So the crucial point is really understanding why we picked that specific account. Allocating the payment to superannuation payable basically clears the liability you initially raised when you ran the wages. It makes sure the wages and super net off cleanly against each other, pretty much guaranteeing your balance sheet stays perfectly accurate.
To wrap this all up, I want to leave you with a great quote directly from our source material. Build that into your regular payday routine and you'll be well ahead of the payday super changes. Your team gets paid their super on time and your books stay clean. It's all about making this simple, step-by-step rhythm totally second nature.
So, I leave you this question. Is your business actually in rhythm for Payday Super? Honestly, don't wait to find out. Go audit your Xero setup today, test processing Super directly from your very next pay run, and master this workflow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy reconciling.